Ladies and gentlemen, it is the final full week of the year. As of right now, futures have gapped up quite a bit. There was also a rollover, so I don't know if that's what's taking place. That should have actually happened last week as far as futures go. But looking at it now, right now, the S&P gapping up. Um, let's go in the normal order. We're going to go to the dollar, then U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, Bitcoin. Let's check out XRP, and then the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Grandpa Dow, and then the Russell, and then we'll turn to some other tickers and just check some things out where I think we're at. Uh, long story short, I know last week there was that red day, and we kind of hung out, went green. And like I said, the only thing that was concerning about the red candle last week was the how red it was and the amount of time it was, but it was still actually considered a dip buy on many levels, and right now we are seeing that, so I think we're good to go. All right, dollar for the open up right now is nothing, just kind of hardly even down. The U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, it actually, if you're long, this would probably be the maybe even a spot to add on. You depending on how you're looking at it, you don't want Friday's lows breaking, or if you're going to continue to trail the daily trend, your stop's probably still below here, unless today is green. Then you would move this up tomorrow. Uh, for those playing the zone, that would be a short entry for that. Man, I kind of want to short it. I'm not gonna lie. All right. Anyway, looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin pulled back all the way to this yellow zone and hung out for a little bit. We bounced down here, dropped all the way down, bounced back up. So we played a little bit of the zone to zone action. So if you do watch these yellow boxes, then you watch that happen. Right now, I probably would expect a bounce right here if we did get to this zone. I would question how many buyers are still there, though. If we hit that and we don't bounce, that's when you see more than likely the continuation south and headed down there. And I do want to talk about this because the growth account it has Bitcoin itself, it has Beto, and it also has Mara. So as far as Bitcoin exposure goes, there's actually quite a bit there. Now that was all by design. Everything has its own purpose. Mara getting into the data centers. Really, I like their last earnings. They're a Bitcoin miner. They're not selling Bitcoin anymore to pay the bills. It costs them about $46,000 to mine a Bitcoin, which is right now almost doubling their money. And then we had Beto, which is a Bitcoin futures ETF, but it paid a pretty awesome dividend. The last couple of months, I think, have been 99 cents a share. So let's check that. We've had it for a while, so we collected 99 cents. There's actually two dividends this month. Another 99 cents. October was $1.09. September was $1.20 per share. August was $1.44. July $1.50. I think that's where we got. I don't know if we got any in June, but June was $1.78. So I wanted that for the monthly dividend to kind of help fund the account. Again, we started this account from zero, and now it's really once we got above that 10K mark, things were starting to roll. But my primary goal when the account is that small is growth, right? So I want to sell covered calls. I want maybe a dividend in there. I do want growth, but growth, you can kill yourself doing the 900 trades up and down. You really can. It's meaningless. You're doing a lot of work. You're gonna make $20. Uh, you'll probably just make a lot more swing trading and just grabbing the right ones. So we focused on that, and then also we do have Bitcoin itself. But that being said, not going to sell the Bitcoin. I do think Bitcoin's going to have one more crypto winter. This next crypto winter it has. I think we still have a few months for it. I don't care that's below 100,000 right now. I think we're going to get meaningfully above the 100K mark. And then in the crypto winter, we're getting back down there, 70, 60, maybe even 50. We'll see. I do think that will be the last winter crypto has that Bitcoin goes under 100K. So in the meantime, not looking to write it all down. Beto's on the chopping block unless Mara wants to race that thing south. Right now, Mara's tried its best, but we're still selling covered calls on it, and the premium there is awesome. So Beto was the dividend. Mara was weekly covered calls, so we're collecting weekly income off of it. And then Bitcoin was just growth. Total exposure, a little bit more than we probably should have in just one particular thing. So for everyone that is following the play, that is my plan next year. Right now, looks like it's going to be Beto that gets it. We make more than the the 90. We have 100 shares of Beto, so the $100 a month that makes in a dividend, we share more. We sell more covered calls for that. So it'll likely be Beto that catches the chop first. But we'll see. Either way, they will both go. We're not going to hold both those on the way down. I'm curious to see how Mara will perform. When things are selling off. I think Mara. There's a long-term play on Mara here. But then there's also the stock market crashes, and this is not really a risk. When it's a risk-off environment, Mara's not staying the course. Okay, you're going to catch things like Amazon, Nvidia, Meta, Microsoft. They will take a less beating while the market is going to excel as far as red candles go. Mara probably not going to participate in that. But we will cross that bridge when we get there. Likely both those will go, and we will buy the dip later. Okay, so yeah, as far as Bitcoin goes, I'm probably not worried as long as I'll make this a little bit brighter, because if we can hold this level, and then especially for the next couple weeks, because this week we have Christmas on Wednesday. The week after that we have New Year's. Stock market is closed, so the next 2 weeks are actually short weeks for the stock market. There's a day close on both of them. So during that, banks, there's not going to be any huge participation in this. So I don't know if I would expect too much out of anything. Both up or down, I would take with a grain of salt. Bitcoin or XRT for 25? I don't know. What is XRT? A retail ETF. Oh, no, I would not be in this one. Is there a short for this? Is it like an XRT like L? I don't think retail is going to do good next year. I think we're finally going to get that recession, and I would not expect retail to do it. But speaking of the S&P, we got a little bit of a gap up. Let me bring that back over. All right, so we closed right here, gapped up into this blue zone, so you really want to see that continue. This is what we talked about. I went live after this, and I told you guys, like, hey, we could grind down, we could grind up, we could go sideways. What we don't want is to match the energy of this candle, and we didn't. And that's when I said, I told you guys, as long as we don't do that, that's probably a dip buy. Bigger picture, it's just going to be the next higher low. But now what we really want to watch out for is a lower high. And then if we do start putting in a lower high, probably right around there, then I would be a little bit concerned. January is typically a bullish month anyway. So if we continue the course, we're good. I think we're crashing in March. If for some reason we do not break the highs first couple weeks of January, by the third week of January, I'm probably thinking my March is a little bit too far. It might be time to start scooting this thing back. So right now, let's see if we can't get above this zone as far as the S&P goes. If you guys do have my charts, right? So if you're on the Patreon or anything like that, you have all my charts. You can save my layouts. You have every line that I have on here. The expected moves are already done, so you're good to go. And we were pricing in a normal week. As far as the NASDAQ, I always drag that zone. All right. As far as the NASDAQ goes, closed right here on Friday, gapped up into this yellow zone. So let's make sure we don't reject there. What I would like to see is this is what, Thursday's high, Friday's high. What you really want to see is that high get broken, getting above that zone. And then I think we're good for at least January. As of right now, I think January is good. Maybe going into February is bullish. I think, again, this is just me throwing darts right now. March is when we start the crash. Has nothing to do with the Rona or anything like that. Just more probably inflation and unemployment reports that are probably going to surprise everybody. Speaking of reports, let's go to economic calendar. There should be zero news this week. Let's see. Durable goods, new home sales, the oil report, that's normal. Jobless claims. Yeah, so literally nothing should be moving the market. Looking at that 80K level for Bitcoin. 80K down here. I would venture to, it's 76 or 86. The way we just shot up like that on Bitcoin, there could be like an awkward turnaround somewhere here, kind of. But I would say we're probably going to go a little bit lower. What would be a good QQQ ratio? I'm assuming spread. Probably nothing right now. Guys, there's a reason why I'm taking a vacation these next 2 weeks, and it's because the markets aren't going to do anything. I wouldn't expect really anything. It would be a surprise to see us move meaningful in any way or another. And if it does, I wouldn't trust it. Play it as long as it's there, it's happening. But other than that, no, it's time to send it. 357 says, how about Ethereum? Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to go through the futures first, and then we'll jump into. So keep your keyboards working. I'll ask for tickers here in a little bit. We'll break everything down. Whether you're on YouTube, TikTok, no matter what YouTube channel you're actually watching, make sure you hit that follow button or subscribe, and then do me a huge solid and share this. Because I think that's what's helping out everything. Looking at Grandpa Dow. Grandpa Dow. Now, it hasn't seen this many red days since 1974, and we put a stop to that. went to that zone, finally gapped above it, so you're good here. I would watch out for this 43.4 area as a resistance level on that. But right now, I'm willing to bet. This is a little premature. You guys have seen me draw these lines before, but I'm willing to bet we're going to spend some time right in this range. These are inside candles inside this 1 day right here. So this is technically Monday's candle right now. Let's see how we actually handle there. Off to a good start for vacation. Listen, the mentorship, that's the vacation. I have to be live on YouTube. I still have the Discord open. I'm still checking everybody. But I'm trying to keep the YouTube momentum going. So and TikTok. So there won't be a Wednesday stream this week because that is Christmas. Probably not, at least. Maybe there might be. I don't know. Probably a Thursday one. But I will say over this next 2 weeks, I told my chat this. I want zero obligation to go live, but I plan my trade. This is what I do every night. As a full-time trader, I literally sit down at night and I do my trades. Like I look at the charts, I plan things out for the next day, kind of get an idea. I like to do it when the market is closed because nothing's moving. There's no one's cramming news in my face because I know that's going to all be manipulation later. There's a reason why the news happens, like around the market hours, and I don't let that influence my trades. So I do everything while I'm here, and then now honestly, it takes me like 5 minutes to do it, but I really don't mind saying it into a camera for everyone else to pay attention. But for the next 2 weeks, not work days, but short week, there's almost no need. But I'll still do the YouTube thing. Cyber Beast finally caught alive. What's happening, man? All right, Russell got a little excited. Russell's gonna have a hard time breaking above that yellow zone. Man, look at this guy. Forgot his name. What is his name? He said IWM is going to be 300 by the end of the year. Are you guys ready for the most impressive IWM Russell bull run you've ever seen in your life? I always forget this guy's name. He's been in a thumbnail of mine. He says some like quirky things. Tom freaking Lee, exactly. Tom Lee. So, and he even said, I think he even doubled down on one of his latest interviews. He said, "Yo, yeah, you should be buying this dip like crazy." And I'm gonna subscribe. I'm gonna call him up and say, "What course are you selling? What membership fees do you offer?" Because I'm there. If IWM makes it to 300, I gotta do it. I gotta say, "Wow, man, you have the insights," and I'm there. It is Cyber Beast's birthday. I know yours is January 4th. Capricorns rule. We do rule. There's a reason. Happy birthday, man. 6 Rain Wick. He says, a big crash incoming, but not now. I'm thinking March. You can tell me when you get. Let me know in the chat right now, guys. When, and there's no wrong answers, right? Because you guys aren't psychic. Now I am, so there's a difference. But like, when do you guys think the next crash is going to happen? He sees that cup and handle on IWM. That's a salad bowl. Okay, there's a huge difference. Kramer 2.0. We got some people on TikTok over here saying happy birthday too. Amir says March. A couple people, Zyra B says March. I'm really curious. If it's next year, say the month. If it's another year, just say the year. Dewey says February. Terry says after the inauguration crash. So we talk January 21st, 22nd. Just send it. Smiley face is what we call it. A rounded bottom. February drop and grind to all-time highs all year. That would be impressive. I don't think we're gonna get that. It's not gonna be anything like the Rona. Let's pull up the Rona right here, and I don't think it's gonna be anything like that where we send it down and then just kind of just go for it. Even if it was a lesser pace, I bet it's gonna probably be the opposite. We're gonna grind down like that, and then where's 2020 at? Was that right here? Oh, it's 2022. Sorry, I bet it looks a lot like this. And don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not speaking from any point of power or anything like that. This is just my vote for now, and it's very important you guys understand that I trade for a living, and my opinion could change on the hour. Which is why I like talking about things like before it happens. That if I see this, I'm going to do that. So that there's no need for me to just jump all in puts right now or start shorting the market or sell out of everything. It's something I've warned quite a bit. It's also why I don't sell my investment account. Because what if I was wrong? My timing was off. You can miss some very big days. As a trader, doesn't matter. Stocks are always moving. As an investor, you miss just one rip your face off rally. So this is a rip your face off rally right here. Now, I'll really zoom in. So if you're on TikTok, it'll be the only thing you see on your screen. All right, so right here, we're grinding down. This is not even bad as a rally. Rallies happen in sell-offs, right? But we're grinding down. So from January to March, we are just red, and then we absolutely send it. No red candle in sight. Please ignore these two right here. Just send it. Now, if you think, you short the market, you sell your position, you're going to watch these 3 days and think there's no point for me to panic back in. That's just the next lower high. By the time you make the decision to get back in your investment account, it's going to be up here if we're being realistic. And then that just screws you. So there has been a couple people asking me, like, why don't I sell my investments? And that's why. Looking back, oh, man. Guys, I rode Meta down to 90, Bitcoin all the way down. Now, I did buy a lot more at those levels. But looking back, yeah, would have been a million times easier to sell at the absolute peak, the peak that I called out, by the way, went short in my trading account, and then bought back in later. There is a reason why I don't do it. You just miss out on one or two of those days, and those are meaningful gains. Because let's just take this graph for example. You're probably not selling right here or going short. You're going to wait because right up until this point right here, just another higher low. TikTok can't see that, but right here, that's just another higher low. By the time you sell, you're right here. So by the time you get back in after all of this, you're back in possibly a little bit higher. So it's important to have a plan regardless. It's why I don't touch your 401k despite one of my biggest, I can't call it a success story, but I called out the crash. Someone in my group closed their 401, called out the bottom. They bought at the bottom. This is of the Rona crash. And their 401k, not the same 401. It's an 802k now. I think is what the IRS calls it. Absolutely killed it. Still nothing I would ever actually recommend doing.